Count Dooku versus Darth Maul. Who wins? Today I will be putting these two Sith apprentices up against each other to see who will come out on top. I'll start off by doing a comparison and analysis of each of them, and then at the end I'll do a fight simulation. So make sure you stick to the end to not miss out on that. But without further ado, let's get into it. First off, let's look at their lightsaber style and skills. Count Dooku uses Form 2 Makashi, the concentration form, which is the first style that was newly invented once the Jedi and Sith started using lightsabers. It is meant for one-on-one combat, which is ideal for this case scenario. The form focuses on a lot of sharp and small movements, which makes it more efficient and also easier to hit the target. This form is pretty aggressive and is the best lightsaber style for one-on-one lightsaber combat. On top of this, Count Dooku is really good at it. He's not only a master of Form 2, but he is the master of Form 2, and he's one of the greatest duelists of his era. He even managed to hold on a long time against Yoda, the most powerful Jedi, who stalemated Darth Sidious. Now let's look at Darth Maul's lightsaber style. Darth Maul uses Form 7, Juyo, the Ferocity form, which utilizes primarily the Force. You see, unlike all the other forms, Form 7 doesn't have any speciality. While you have the likes of Form 2, which focuses on one-to-one combat, Form 3 on defense, and Form 4 on speed, Form 7 doesn't have a particular focus. This form practitioner gives himself up to the Force and uses their emotions as fuel. This is great for Darth Maul, as he is always angry, and he can just let that anger out to produce more power, speed, and precision. That is the primary thing that makes Maul so dangerous. All his anger builds up inside of him, and then comes out when he fights. This is also a very aggressive form, even more than Form 2. Darth Maul is a very skilled practitioner of this form. However, Dooku is better at his form than Maul is at his, and on top of that, Dooku's form is made for one-on-one combat, while Maul's is simply good at everything. I would say that it's clear that Dooku has the upper hand, if it were only lightsaber combat. Let's shift our focus from lightsaber combat to the Force now. The Force is another very important aspect in a duel, and both Maul and Dooku are powerful in the Force, but in very different ways. As I mentioned earlier, Darth Maul has a lot of anger, and thus is very powerful in the Force. However, he's not that skilled in the Force. What I mean by that is he doesn't have a lot of different Force abilities. He's just very powerful in the ones that he has. On the other hand, Dooku is very skilled in the Force and has many different Force abilities, most notably Force Lightning. This gives Dooku a bit of an advantage. However, I would still say that Maul is slightly more powerful in terms of just raw strength, which also helps him out in lightsaber combat, but he is not as skilled. So when it comes to Force, I would say they're pretty equal when you balance it out. The next category is speed and agility. Now this one is a bit of a no-brainer. Darth Maul is very fast and agile and is able to move all over the place. Whether that's from side to side and flipping over someone, or just general movements, Darth Maul is very fast. When it comes to Dooku, he's very efficient with his lightsaber movements, which slightly helps with his speed. But nonetheless, he's very slow and not that mobile. This has gotten worse as his age increases and he was overwhelmed by Yoda. If Dooku was faster and had Maul's speed and agility, he would have beaten Yoda in Attack of the Clones. So of course, Darth Maul gets the edge here, and this is the biggest advantage he has over the older Sith. The last category is intelligence, and just like the previous section, this one's pretty obvious. Dooku is a lot smarter and wiser than Maul. He knows what moves he should and shouldn't do, he knows how to get good position, and he actually uses his brain. Darth Maul, on the other hand, doesn't use his brain at all, and instead uses his emotions and anger. This is why his lightsaber style is so good, but it leads him to make stupid mistakes and to lose to much less powerful opponents, as he did in the Phantom Menace. So in theory, Count Dooku should win this fight, as he has won 2.5 out of the 4 primary domains in a duel. However, sometimes things are different in theory than in reality, so I'll put them through now what I think would happen if these two Sith Lords fought right before Revenge of the Sith. Palpatine tells Dooku that Darth Maul has aroused back to power and that he must go and kill him once and for all. Dooku goes and meets Maul in the throne room, and then they give each other a bit of banter. Darth Maul activates his lightsaber and charges at Dooku. Dooku then does the same thing he attempted to do to Anakin, and he attacks Maul with Force Lightning. Maul, being fast, realizes this and blocks the attack. From there, Dooku activates his lightsaber, and the duel is on. Maul is now a bit more careful, but he still has that fire inside of him. The anger of Dooku taking his spot as the Sith apprentice makes him furious. He attacks again. Instead, this time Dooku parries and follows up with some attacks. Maul's attacks are fast and strong, but Dooku's are quick and precise. Maul tries attacking Dooku from different angles, but it's no good. Dooku barely has to move to parry and counter Maul's attacks. Dooku is very efficient and precise with his attacks. At this point, Maul is even angry, and he tries to just bombard Dooku with plenty of attacks. However, Dooku was prepared, and he manages to cut Maul's saber in half. Now Maul is at a big disadvantage. Previously, he had the element of surprise with the fact that he used a very uncommon lightsaber. He has now lost this, yet he is still Darth Maul, and he can use any lightsaber. This time around, Dooku didn't wait for Maul to attack. He went all in, striking and thrusting Maul. Maul blocks a few shots until Dooku disarms him completely. Dooku, being smart, doesn't risk attacking the Zabrak with his lightsaber. Maul force pushes Dooku away and he tries to escape. As Maul was jumping away, Dooku blasts Force Lightning at his opponent. He keeps it up for 20 seconds, and at this point, Maul is beaten up on the ground begging for mercy, and then Dooku says,
"Let me give you peace."
And that is what would happen if Darth Maul and Count Dooku fought. Dooku would win as he has more experience and skill than Maul. Maul has more raw strength, but he's unable to fully control it. If he could, with enough time and the right teachings, he could get to as powerful as Palpatine. If you enjoyed this fight breakdown, subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any more. Comment down below who you think would win and how the fight would go, and perhaps more fights you would like to see. Click the video on screen. And apart from that, have a great day.